Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets.
Some people are whirling around that he died of that same pneumonia that Kim Porter had. Sounds a little bit shady. Sounds like maybe the diddler had him taken care of, because here's something real crazy.
Uncle Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them, I believe, in 2023, is deceased. He's passed away.
Y'all, the tea just keeps getting hotter. Beyonce is reportedly in panic mode after new developments suggest the feds are digging into her connection to the shocking death of her former bodyguard. And here's where it gets crazy. Rumors are swirling that he had evidence linking her to Diddy's alleged crimes. Could this be the skeleton in the closet that Queen Bey has been desperately trying to keep hidden? Let's just say this story is about to take a wild turn. So, here's where things get wild. Uncle Ron, Beyonce, and Jay-Z's former bodyguard went viral back in 2023 for spilling some jaw-dropping tea about the Carters. In several TikTok videos, he claimed he knew dark secrets about Beyonce and Jay-Z that would leave the world shook. He didn't hold back, saying they would do anything to protect their empire, including sabotaging careers and silencing anyone who dared to cross them. And when I say anything, I mean it.
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie. Bottom line. You don't have to believe me, believe the facts.
According to Uncle Ron, Beyonce and Jay-Z didn't just rise to the top, they stomped on anyone who dared to stand in their way. One of the most shocking claims Ron made was about Carrie Hilson, a talented artist whose career seemed to vanish almost overnight. Ron alleged that Jay-Z, or Hov as he's known, played a major role in ending Carrie's career. Why? Because of her rumored beef with Beyonce. Now here's the thing, Carrie Hilson was at the peak of her game when the drama with Beyonce allegedly started. You might remember the subtle jabs in her 2009 remix of Turnin' Me On, which fans speculated were aimed at Queen Bey. The lyrics included lines about taking off your halo and singing off key, which many took as thinly veiled shots at Beyonce.
Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you.
And that's when things took a turn. According to Uncle Ron, Hov wasn't about to let anyone disrespect Beyonce. He allegedly used his influence to sabotage Carrie's career, ensuring that she was blackballed from major opportunities in the music industry. But that's not all. Uncle Ron didn't stop with Carrie Hilson. He also claimed that Jay-Z has a pattern of tossing people aside once he's done benefiting from them. Ron specifically mentioned Freeway and Beanie Sigel, two rappers who were instrumental in Rockefeller Records' early success. He alleged that once Jay-Z achieved the fame and fortune he was chasing, he abandoned them without a second thought. By the time the dust settled, Carrie Hilson had largely stepped away from the spotlight, leaving fans to speculate about what could have been. And Freeway and Beanie Sigel, they've both spoken publicly about feeling betrayed by Jay-Z, adding even more weight to Uncle Ron's allegations. According to Uncle Ron, Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage isn't the love story fans believe it to be. He claimed that their union was never about romance, but about business, power, and amassing a fortune in the music industry. Being close to the Carters for years, Uncle Ron allegedly saw firsthand how their relationship was less about love and more about maintaining their empire.
You step on anybody to stay on the top. So remember, your relationship was a business relationship, financial.
But Uncle Ron isn't the only one making these claims. Jaguar Wright, another industry insider known for spilling Hollywood's dirty secrets, has also spoken out about their fake marriage. She alleged that their partnership is purely transactional, a carefully curated image designed to dominate the industry.
Blue Ivy is not Jay-Z's child. Ty Smith is. It was a financial arrangement, and it worked out for them.
And when you consider Jay-Z's alleged infidelity, the cracks in the perfect picture start to show. Jay has openly admitted to cheating on Beyonce multiple times, which he addressed in his album 444. But here's where it gets even messier. There have also been rumors that Beyonce wasn't exactly faithful either. For years, whispers circulated about her alleged closeness to her bodyguard, Julius De Beer. Fans speculated that their relationship went beyond professional boundaries, further fueling the idea that Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage is more about appearances than anything else.
Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Uncle Ron didn't stop there. He alleged that Jay-Z had Beyoncé on to keep her in check and maintain control over her. While these claims were initially dismissed as speculation, an infamous incident added fuel to the fire. During a courtside appearance at a basketball game, fans noticed Beyoncé looking dazed and completely out of it. The clip went viral, with many questioning whether she was under the influence of something. This moment seemed to confirm what people had already suspected, that there's more to Beyoncé's life behind the scenes than we're led to believe. Now here's where things start connecting to Diddy, and it's even messier than you think. Uncle Ron claimed that Beyoncé and Jay-Z's tight relationship with Diddy isn't just about friendships or collaborations, it's much deeper. He implied that the Carters knew about Diddy's infamous freak-off parties and might have even benefited from some of his shady dealings. For years, Diddy has been accused of hosting gatherings where, allegedly, anything goes and everything is recorded. These parties have been whispered about in Hollywood circles for decades, and insiders claim that everyone who attended knew exactly what was going down. If Beyoncé and Jay-Z were part of this circle, it raises serious questions about how much they knew and whether they turned a blind eye to protect their image. But to make matters worse, Uncle Ron hinted that these connections weren't just casual. He claimed Beyoncé and Jay-Z might have used their ties to Diddy to silence people who had dirt on them. And with Diddy now facing serious allegations, fans are side-eyeing the Carters for staying eerily quiet about the whole situation. Now let's talk about Beyoncé's recent behavior, which has fans seriously questioning her motives. After Cassie came forward with her shocking allegations against Diddy, many expected Beyoncé to use her platform to speak out in support of women. After all, her entire brand is built on female empowerment. But here's the thing, she hasn't said a word. Instead, she's been endorsing political figures like Kamala Harris, claiming she stands for protecting women and children. Fans are not buying it. They're asking, how can Beyoncé claim to support women while staying silent about Diddy's alleged victims?
Say Texas. Texas plays a pivotal role to change the course of our future. Texans and Houstonians from Third Ward.
And it's not just her silence on Diddy. Remember when Beyoncé took that $24 million deal to perform in Dubai? Fans were quick to call her out for supporting a country with strict anti-LGBTQ+ laws and a history of discriminating against women. For someone who's branded herself as a feminist and ally, the move felt hypocritical. Uncle Ron's sudden death has become a focal point of conspiracy discussions. The timing couldn't be more suspicious. Just months after going viral for exposing powerful figures like Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Diddy, Uncle Ron reportedly passed away from pneumonia at just 59 years old. Fans immediately began connecting the dots, pointing out how the circumstances of his death seemed eerily convenient for those he had called out.
Brittany Murphy, that pneumonia ain't no joke. Every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes, and then it's.
Uncle Ron's family confirmed his death via TikTok, but here's the thing, they didn't share many details about what happened. To make matters worse, comments on his TikTok page asking questions about his death started mysteriously disappearing. Why delete comments if there's nothing to hide? This move has only fueled suspicions, with many believing it's an attempt to silence questions and discourage further digging into his explosive claims.
And people in the comments are asking, what happened to Uncle Ron? What happened? What is the family doing? Deleting all of the comments.
And let's not forget, Uncle Ron had openly spoken about receiving threats for spilling industry secrets. If he really had that kind of evidence, it makes his sudden death even more unsettling. Did he pay the ultimate price for knowing too much? To make things even darker, Uncle Ron had also dropped shocking accusations about the tragic death of the notorious B.I.G. Back in the late 90s, Biggie was unalived in a drive-by shooting after attending an after-party with none other than Diddy. Uncle Ron alleged that Diddy and Jay-Z conspired to have Biggie killed because he was planning to leave Bad Boy Records and go independent.
Wait, Diddy's bodyguard died? Did y'all know that? The one who said that Diddy and Jay-Z paid him $30,000. Tupac? Did you realize he died last month?
According to Ron, Biggie had grown tired of being used by Diddy and had expressed his desire to branch out on his own. This didn't sit well with either Diddy or Jay-Z, who allegedly saw Biggie as a threat to their plans for domination in the hip-hop industry. Uncle Ron even claimed that Jay-Z wanted Biggie out of the industry, period, so he could rise to the top as the biggest name in hip-hop.
Finding out that he wanted all the rights to all his catalogs. I turned him down.
But that's not all. Uncle Ron alleged that in 1997, Diddy had approached him to carry out the of Biggie. While these claims have never been proven, the timing of Ron's death, just 24 hours after making a TikTok video about the alleged conspiracy, has left fans deeply unsettled. Was Uncle Ron silenced for connecting the dots?
I was offered $30,000 to perform a hit on Biggie Smalls. March 1st of 1997, I was approached by Diddy.
Uncle Ron's death isn't the first suspicious case tied to powerful figures in the entertainment industry. Many insiders who've dared to speak out have met similarly tragic fates. Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and the mother of his children, also died suddenly from pneumonia at just 47 years old. Brittany Murphy and her husband also passed away under eerily similar circumstances, with pneumonia listed as the cause in both cases.
Miss Kim Porter, who passed away due to alleged pneumonia. There's a lot in her body that's metal toxicity or metal toxins.
Even Kanye West has called out Hollywood for its dark tactics, claiming people go missing in Hollywood. And let's not forget, Kanye himself faced threats from his former trainer, Harley Pasternak, who reportedly said he could institutionalize Kanye and medicate him into submission.
You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
Harley Pasternak.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me.
As Diddy's legal troubles mount, Beyonce's connection to him is coming under scrutiny. Fans are questioning how much she knew about his alleged crimes and whether she played a role in keeping them under wraps. And let's not forget, Diddy's influence in the industry is massive. If Beyonce and Jay-Z were complicit in his actions or benefited from his power, it could spell serious trouble for their empire. With the feds reportedly investigating Diddy's connections to other powerful figures, it's only a matter of time before more names are dragged into the spotlight. Uncle Ron's allegations have also reignited discussions about the darker side of the entertainment industry. From the exploitation of young artists to the silencing of whistleblowers, it's clear that there's more happening behind the scenes than we'll ever know. Beyonce and Jay-Z have always maintained a polished public image, but Uncle Ron's claims suggest there's a lot they're not telling us. And with Diddy's scandal bringing more attention to the industry's dark underbelly, fans are demanding accountability from everyone involved. So what do you think about Uncle Ron's allegations and his sudden passing? Could his death really be a coincidence, or is there something much darker at play? And how deep do you think Beyonce and Jay-Z's connection to Diddy's scandals runs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more breaking stories. Oh, and be sure to check out the next video, where we dive into how 50 Cent and Big Meech allegedly discuss Diddy's shady dealings in an upcoming documentary. You won't want to miss it.
Okay, so it looks like the situation between Piers Morgan, Beyonce, and Jaguar Wright is more complex than we thought, because 50 Cent is coming forward with some pretty wild claims about how Beyonce pretty much forced Piers to turn on Jaguar, and that she allegedly blackmailed him with some wild information that could ruin his career. Well, 50 Cent has been all up in Beyonce and Jay-Z's business for more than 20 years now, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, because he pulled up with some wild receipts that kind of suggest that Piers Morgan might be involved in some pretty shady shenanigans of his own. But let's break it down. Now, to be fair to Piers, the official explanation he gave of backpedaling and throwing Jaguar under the bus was that Jay-Z and Beyonce had him with legal action for speaking on their name. Well, clearly he didn't want any problems with the Carters, because he backed down quick. But why did they allegedly choose now to respond to Jaguar Wright's claims? Well, fans are speculating that the reason they finally made a move was that they had dirt on Piers, which meant that they could easily manipulate him compared to other people. Well, Jaguar Wright has been talking about them for a long time, sharing all kinds of crazy stories. When Cassie sued Diddy, the attention was on him until Jaguar came forward with bold accusations claiming that Jay-Z was involved in Diddy's shady dealings and was actually worse than Diddy.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. This been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
Now, if you're curious why Homegirl seems to have so much drama with Jay-Z, there might be a solid reason behind it. In an interview, she alleged that Jay-Z once tried to unalive her back when she was a backup singer for him. And allegedly, he came at her with a whole box cutter.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
So there's been so many people on the internet trying to figure out where you are. They're watching you. They're doing all types of stuff trying to figure you out.
You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen that Cassie shit. That's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me, and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy.
Yeah, most people would definitely hold a grudge over something like that, because trying to take somebody out is straight up madness. But it's clear Jaguar and the Carters aren't exactly sending holiday greetings to each other. She's always airing out their business whenever she gets the opportunity. So when it was announced that she'd be sitting down with Piers Morgan, everybody knew that things were about to get real chaotic. And Jaguar didn't hold back. In the interview, she made a shocking claim that Jay-Z was supposedly the one pulling the strings behind the whole Me Too movement. She alleged that he needed to bring down R. Kelly to distract from his own involvement in Kelly's wrongdoings. And here's the kicker. She said Jay-Z even financed the movement to distance himself and bury any potential dirt on their shady past.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Now, this would have been a very wild claim, especially since there have been rumors floating around for a while that R. Kelly was allegedly been saying Jay-Z set him up. Word in the streets is that Kelly's been telling people Jay-Z allegedly bankrolled the documentary that played a huge part in influencing his trial. But here's the plot twist. Considering Kelly and Jay used to be super close before all of this R. Kelly dirty laundry got aired out, but once Kelly was exposed, Jay-Z acted like they never had been friends. And wait, y'all, it gets even juicier because Ronnie Bo, one of Kelly's former cellmates, spilled some piping hot tea on Hip Hop News Uncensored. He claimed that although Kelly didn't have solid proof, he was convinced that Jay, his old collaborator, had to put a hit out on him. So it's interesting that Jaguar seems to be on the same page about Jay's shady moves. But Jaguar didn't stop there. She also dropped another bomb, claiming that Beyonce was allegedly involved in Aaliyah's death.
I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a little couple. They do things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Now, for years, there have been whispers that Aaliyah's death might not have been an accident, and many fans can't help but connect it to the Carters. The theory is that all this started with Jay-Z's supposed fixation on Aaliyah, which apparently stirred up feelings of jealousy and insecurity in Beyonce, especially since both of them were competing in the music world at the same time. But before Jay-Z's interest in Aaliyah even became a thing, she was actually married to his good friend R. Kelly. Yes, the same R. Kelly Jaguar claims Jay-Z set up to take the fall. Let's not forget the disturbing details of that marriage. Kelly had allegedly manipulated Aaliyah into marrying him when she was just 15, when he was the whole 27. Her parents had to step in and get the marriage annulled, but the fact that Jay-Z knew all of this and didn't say a word, that was giving red flag. Then for Jay-Z to turn around and catch feelings for Aaliyah after all that, that's a whole new level of messy. But maybe it really wasn't about Aaliyah herself. Maybe Jay was just looking for a powerful, high-profile partner to help him build his legacy, and Aaliyah's rising star made her a perfect match. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting with Beyonce once Aaliyah was out the picture, did he? Now, for a bit of background, Aaliyah was that girl. I mean, talk about being one in a million. Because Hollywood's golden girl, she was, no question. She wasn't just dominating the scene, she was the scene. Naturally, it did come with a lot of admirers, and both Jay-Z and Dame Dash were among them. The tension between Jay and Dame already was brewing, but when they both started going after Aaliyah, things got even messier. And that's when Jay-Z reportedly did Dame dirty in the worst way possible. He sold their record label right from underneath him. The two friends going after the same girl is never a good look, and anyone could have told Jay-Z and Dame that for free. And since Jay-Z isn't one to take an L easily, I mean, he's Mr. I will not lose. Of course, he didn't take the situation well, because it was already pretty shaky. But it really blew up when Aaliyah finally chose Dame over Jay.
So, this is going to be hard for me. Because his friends were laughing at him.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I might have a question since we're talking about Aaliyah, and ignore me if it's too much, but do you have any opinion on the R. Kelly situation? Do you think he got railroaded?
Now, naturally, Jaguar Wright had to throw in her 2 cents, adding even more fuel to the fire. She claimed that Aaliyah was the real reason Jay-Z and Dame fell out. According to her, Jay was just bitter about losing Aaliyah to Dame, and that jealousy pretty much just destroyed her friendship. But honestly, it sounds like a classic case of jealousy going off the rails. You know how things get all kinds of messy when emotions are involved.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't give a if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was a girl that didn't want you.
After the whole Aaliyah situation, Jay-Z turned his attention to Beyonce, but rumors continued to circulate about how strong his feelings for Aaliyah had been. The tension didn't help either, as there had already been a strange rivalry brewing between Beyonce and Aaliyah during that time. It was definitely a messy love triangle, but when Aaliyah tragically lost her life in that fateful plane crash in Bermuda, Beyonce found herself with both the man Jay-Z and the fame. Jaguar suggested that it wasn't just luck or fate. She claimed Beyonce allegedly orchestrated it. Now, to make things even shadier, over the years, insiders like Mary J. Blige have alluded to the fact that Aaliyah's death might have had deeper implications than what the public was told. Some people have even gone so far as to suggest that it was a sacrificial offering, which adds even another unsettling layer to an already tragic situation.
I just know that was a, you know what I'm saying, I was a serious people know it or not, because God don't kill people, you know what I'm saying, whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring proof, you know what I'm saying, for what I learned. And she just was cut down in the prime of her life, and it's so unfair.
But anyways, after Jaguar made her appearance on Piers Morgan's show, Beyonce brought in her lawyers, and Piers quickly edited out Jaguar's segment and issued an apology to the Carters.
Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Now you already know that Jaguar does not take kindly to being disrespected or silenced, and she dragged Piers Morgan for filth. She disclosed that it was actually Pierce's team that reached out to her first, inviting her to appear on the show. And Jaguar also asserted that she and Pierce had talked about her statements ahead of time, and that he had vetted her claims before she went on air.
Piers Morgan's producers called him directly. And we talked about it briefly, and I said, we have to do it. We have to. Because the one thing I know about Piers Morgan is he is a smart prey. And not only is he smart prey, he is a great conductor of information. He also vets things viciously. And I want to thank you for that. Because if my word is good enough to make it through Piers Morgan's firewall of please don't sue me, then I guess he just vetted me for every ounce of real life content on this blue couch. We thank you for that.
Well, 50 Cent is now out here claiming that the real reason that Pierce backtracked isn't just because of legal threats like he claims. According to 50 Cent, Pierce allegedly has a checkered secret life with a whole lot of skeletons in his closet, and somehow the Carters found out about it, and they allegedly used it against him. Well, Jaguar Wright's claims on his show caused a whole lot of drama and controversy, which they certainly did not want because they're trying to keep their head down and lay low in the middle of all this Diddy stuff. The last thing they want is to have authorities digging into them, because if the rumors are true about them, well, let's just say this drama is far from over. I gotta know what y'all think about this. Drop your thoughts and comments below, hit that like button and subscribe, and then I'll check you out in the next video. Y'all, this Jay-Z and Beyonce situation is getting crazier by the day, and y'all better come on in the room and get your fresh bro, because 50 Cent is out again giving his 2 cents about the situation, and it looks like we've had a situation backwards. Now, y'all know how people have been coming for Jay-Z and accusing him of being a manipulator who has been allegedly forcing Beyonce into doing some pretty bad stuff, right? Well, 50 Cent is coming out to reveal just how wrong we were about all this, saying that not only is Beyonce as bad as Jay-Z, but she's even worse, and he gave some shocking examples of her alleged activities. But he didn't stop there, because he also revealed how Beyonce is trying to make Jay-Z take the fall for their messy actions by divorcing him, setting him up for failure, and then throwing him under the bus. Cause listen, there's a whole lot we need to unpack here, because 50 Cent is spilling some crazy tea. Is this why Jay-Z has been desperately professing his love for Beyonce these past couple of weeks? Okay, so y'all might need to sit down for this, because the drama is here. And there's a lot of insane things going on Hollywood right now, specifically between Jay-Z and Beyonce. In case y'all have somehow been out of the loop with the drama that's been going on between Hollywood's biggest power couple, there have been some reports from insiders that Beyonce is strongly considering divorcing Jay-Z and just packing it all up. No, yeah, the drama has been going on for a minute now, and for a while people kind of assumed that the reason Beyonce was leaving Jay-Z was that she was tired of him using and manipulating her. Well, see, there have been reports for a very long time about how Jay-Z is not exactly a stand-up guy, and he's involved in a lot of questionable and shady activities behind the scenes. Now, I'm not gonna go into all the deep details about the things Jay-Z's been accused of, because I'm sure y'all saw the videos that I've made before. If not, go check them out. There's a lot of allegations and rumors, but for a long time people have kind of assumed that Beyonce is another one of his victims, especially because she has a squeaky clean image in the eyes of the public, and because she was so young when they got together. Beyonce spilled the tea in an interview saying, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." Then they officially started dating when Beyonce was 19 and Jay-Z was a whole 31. It's a substantial age gap that had fans buzzing, and some even tossed around some speculations. But it's even worse than that, y'all, because in 2007, Charlie Rose did an interview with Jay-Z, and he said he had met B 10 years ago, or in 1997. And if they met in 1997, 97, and Beyonce was then only 16 when they met. In fact, depending on when they met, she could have been 15 for all we know. The thought of Jay-Z, who was in his late 20s or 27 or 28 at the time, pursuing a 16-year-old Beyonce was very, very shady to say the very least. And as a result of this, people often see Beyonce as a victim, and she is often left out of the narrative whenever Jay-Z is getting dragged for his not-so-nice activities. Even when the couple is getting dragged for allegedly blackballing the careers of people in the industry, people focus more on Jay-Z's part and how he is using his powers to influence and to blackball other artists. But Beyonce is left out of the conversation because she's the media's darling. Well, 50 Cent is trying to clear this narrative allegedly because he is starting to share his insider knowledge to the world. And well, let's just say that he doesn't exactly have a whole lot of nice things to say about Beyonce. Now, when the news was broken by blogger Storm Monroe a couple of months ago, everybody was on Beyonce's side, talking about how great it was that she was leaving him for good.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. They're gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah, 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 blah.
The thought of Beyonce leaving Jay was a hit among fans, especially because Storm said that Jay-Z was about to get exposed. And I'm not talking about some petty exposure like him ruining careers or blacklisting people. No, I'm talking about something major, like some Diddy level exposure for some insane stuff that he may have done in the past. The interesting thing here is that Storm was not the first one to tell us that Jay-Z was going to be exposed for some bad things he might have did, because after Cassie's explosive lawsuit that exposed Jay-Z's best friend Diddy of some truly horrific things, Jaguar Wright came out to tell us that Jay-Z was the next in line to be exposed. Jaguar also claimed that the reason Jay-Z was not getting exposed was that he was smarter and more careful than Diddy was.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
But like they say, birds of a feather flock together. And I guess that's the story here, because the streets are saying that Jay-Z was really as bad as Diddy was. And considering the things that Diddy has been accused of, let's just say that people were glad we found out that Beyonce might be considering divorce. But apart from this whole thing about the age gap between Beyonce and Jay, there's also the fact that he has cheated on her multiple times in the past. And no, I'm not just talking about Lemonade and Becky with the good hair. I'm referring to the fact that he's been cheating on her since they started dating. According to reports, Jay-Z started cheating on Beyonce only a few months after they started their relationship, and one of their first women that he cheated with was rapper Charlie Baltimore. Now, if you've been keeping up with the drama, then you probably heard the rumors of Charlie and Jay-Z having an affair behind Beyonce's back. But for those of y'all who don't follow the drama, Charlie used to be in a relationship with Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, back in the day. And reports have it that somewhere along the line, Charlie got sick and tired of being the other woman, while Jay paraded his relationship with Beyonce. So Charlie ended the affair with Jay-Z, but Jay-Z didn't take it well at all, allegedly. He got so jealous that Charlie moved in with another man, and apparently he was so jealous that he risked going to jail. Y'all remember when Jay-Z was arrested for stabbing a man in a club? Well, Jay-Z allegedly stabbed the producer, and he claimed that the producer had been illegally distributing bootleg copies of his then unreleased album Volume 3, Life and Times of Sean Carter. They ran into each other at a club and Jay-Z pulled an 8-inch knife and knifed this other man. But inside sources, especially 50 Cent, are now calling BS on this story, claiming that the real reason for the stabbing was that Jay-Z found out that Charlie had started dating the producer and he got jealous. Now, getting mad at your former side piece for moving on when you're literally dating the Beyonce is actually insane. And 50 Cent wasn't capping because rapper Cameron backed it up and confirmed that stabbing was over Charlie.
It wasn't over no money. It wasn't over being righteous. What was it over? A chick? What we don't do is we don't fuck with our homies' ex-bitches. Bow! You feel me? You know who that is now, right? I said bow. Charlie Baltimore. There you go.
But speaking of 50 Cent, he is now coming out to speak about the current situation of the divorce. And well, let's just say he's not exactly Team Beyonce because he believes that Beyonce is the villain that everybody seems to think Jay-Z is. Now, for those of you who don't know, 50 Cent has had a beef with Jay-Z and Beyonce for a long time. Actually, the beef started between Jay-Z and 50 Cent, and then Beyonce got roped into it because she was defending her man. Now, we've got to give y'all the backstory about this whole drama, because it's kind of funny and petty, which isn't surprising because we know that 50 Cent is the king of being petty when it comes to these Hollywood cases, because y'all know that 50 is gonna troll anybody at any time. Anybody can get it if he feels like they should. The bad blood between Jay-Z and 50 Cent started when a 50 Cent diss came out to Jay-Z in his 1999 song How to Rob. People have always said that he did it for clout. I mean, Jay-Z was already a poppin' artist back then and 50 Cent was just trying to come out. In fact, it was 50 Cent's first major song and it made a lot of waves. But to be fair, Jay-Z was not the only artist he dissed on that track, because 50 Cent also dissed and trolled many other top artists, including Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy Elliott, Will Smith, and more top artists of the era. He was clearly trying to get attention. And in the song, 50 Cent dissed Jay-Z saying, "What, Jigga just sold like 4 milli? He got something to live for. Don't want a man putting 4 through the Bentley coupe door." A lot of artists who got dissed in that song gave their own clapbacks, and that was that. But Jay-Z is the type of person who keeps grudges for a very long time, which is why the beef between him and 50 lasted this long. Jay-Z eventually clapped back and dropped a diss track of his own in his song It's Hot, Some Like It Hot, where he said, "Go against Jigga? You diss. I'm about $1. What the up is 50 cents?" Well, 50 Cent eventually admitted that he was chasing clout when he dissed Jay-Z and all those other rappers and singers. When he interviewed with Rolling Stone, 50 Cent said, when he responded, I was complimented. He wouldn't say nothing back to somebody he didn't think was hot. I never went to radio until after he said that about me. I don't know if my career would be where it's at if he didn't respond. So what was this whole beef about, 50? Well, 50 Cent admitted that the reason that he had a problem with Jay was that Jay-Z felt like he was the greatest. In another interview, he said he's got a king complex. He thinks he's effing Jesus, you know what I mean? This Jehovah-ish. I'm just watching him. He said something one time I didn't like, those little things, subliminal things. For me, that's the punk way to do things. Well, Jay-Z tried to deny the rumors of beef, saying that he and 50 were fine, but 50 was not about to let this narrative fly, and he was quick to come out and deny that he and Jay were on good terms. He also claimed that they would never be friends, saying, "We don't have those kinds of relationships. These people are people I associate with. We are in the same business. We're not necessarily friends. We don't call each other for no reason." Well, as it turns out, Beyonce was not a fan of 50 Cent constantly throwing digs at her men. Even though she and Jay-Z had not started dating when his beef with 50 started, she still took Jay-Z's side, and things got so messy that 50 Cent revealed that he even tried to fight him.
And I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. Don't come
So
on.
who wasn't there?
Hit me. I'm talking to Jay.
You're talking to Jay.
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped down, came over. I said, oh shit, look at this.
Of course, 50 Cent, being 50 Cent, could not resist making a joke of the situation.
As long as there, I would have had to reboot.
The thought of Beyonce wanting to throw hands with 50 Cent over Jay-Z is very wild. I'm not gonna lie, but it kind of explains why 50 Cent is one of the very few people who actually see her for what she is, and why he believes that she is not a victim like most people think she is. Not only does 50 Cent believe that she's not a victim, he actually believes that she's worse than Jay-Z, and that she was the mastermind behind most of the things that people have accused Jay-Z of, allegedly. Now remember when her former bodyguard came out to expose her and Jay-Z for blackballing the career of singer Carrie Hilson?
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are, how you step on anybody to stay on the top.
For some reason, Jay-Z ended up catching all the smoke for that, and for some reason, Beyonce was left out the conversation. The Bodyguard also claimed that Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage was nothing but a business merger.
Your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up.
Now, this part was not surprising because we all know, and I've heard several rumors about how things are just purely business between them. But according to 50 Cent, there is more there because Beyonce has been allegedly being sneaky for the longest time. 50 Cent brought up the topic of Beyonce's former drummer, how she accused Beyonce of some not so nice stuff, and how she was mysteriously silenced after she came out to expose Beyonce and speak on what it was really like being with her behind the scenes. According to the drummer, whose name is Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce allegedly dabbles in the occult. She spoke to the Daily Beast, and the interviewer said she claims that for some reason B has started a campaign of harassment against her that includes extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magical spells of sexual molestation. She also claims that the Lemonade star murdered her kitten. Thompson believes Beyonce has been tapping her phones and controlling her finances. It's unclear why Thompson believes that the singer is allegedly doing all this to her, but she is adamant it all stems from B. Well, Kimberly went live on Instagram to speak on Beyonce.
Entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, all just a very wicked tactic to just keep me down and keep me under some type of control. And I've had enough,
People thought she was just looking for attention and trying to use Beyonce's name for clout, so they didn't really pay a lot of attention to her. But when she went as far as to file a restraining order against Beyonce, and that's when people started to sit up and wonder if there was some truth behind her words, and 50 Cent was one of those people. But y'all, there is still some more drama here. Y'all know how I said that Jay-Z has been cheating on Beyonce for years, and she just sits there and takes it? Well, according to 50 Cent, she isn't exactly sitting around and taking it like that, because she has been making moves behind the scenes. Y'all know how Jay-Z went on and on about how he and Beyonce worked on their marriage after he cheated and how they fixed it.
For us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For black men and women, just to see a different outcome. Like you were saying, it's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
That's beautiful.
Like real people.
Yeah.
Well, 50 Cent is also claiming that the family therapy isn't the only reason they fixed things, because they did something else, and that something else is how Beyonce allegedly goes after Jay-Z's side pieces and ruins their lives, allegedly. It's interesting how 50 Cent is bringing this up now, because there were some recent reports that Beyonce allegedly had something to do with Tierra Marie's career taking a nosedive, because she was found out that Tierra had been messing with Jay-Z allegedly behind the scenes, and Beyonce was not having it. Apparently, everybody knew that Jay-Z had taken a liking to Tierra, but at the time, we just assumed that it was because she was super talented.
Let's talk about some of the artists. Tierra Marie.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's the first lady of the rock?
She's the princess.
The word on the street says she was messing with Jay-Z and a whole lot of other men as well, which is kind of messed up considering that she was not exactly legal yet at the time that this was all going down.
As I have told you before, Aaliyah was SA'd as a minor by several producers and was treated like a piece of meat to be bought and sold by different producers up until the time that she passed away. A couple of years after she passed away, a fairly large record producer started making some calls about a singer he had working out of his studio. She was 15 and eager, and soon different label heads were scouting her. and this is allegedly Tierra Marie.
According to this blind item, Beyonce allegedly found out about the affair and put her foot down, insisting that Jay-Z get rid of Tierra, but it was not enough for him to just get rid of her because allegedly Beyonce decided to ruin Tierra's career as well.
And he signed her to a deal. By the time all of the ink was dry, she was just shy of being legal, but that didn't stop the mogul. He liked to sample the new talent. He was sampling her on a fairly regular basis, but he was also involved with the current A+ list singer who was in his face every day. And this could allegedly be Beyonce. The thing is, though, that corn star in charge of her career was feuding with the mogul and told the mogul he would not be allowed to hook up with the singer again. I assume he thought the mogul would think she was something special. Apparently not as special as the current A+ lister, because the new signee was dropped and the word was put out on the street. No record deals for her from any label. When someone ignored the edict, they were paid a visit. If the visits were ignored, then other steps were taken. This was a total lockdown of a career that lasted almost a decade.
Now this blind item is very interesting considering that L.A. Reid, who was the music exec in charge of Tierra and Rihanna, had previously said that Beyonce made him pay more attention to Rihanna instead of Tierra.
We had a showcase, and at the showcase there were two artists performing. Her name is Tierra Marie, and she's a really sweet girl. And the truth is I was paying a little more attention to her than I was to Rihanna. After the showcase, you know, Beyonce just gave me one of those looks, and he said, that Rihanna girl, she's a beast. And she looked away, right? And I was like, so I did a Rihanna double take.
Now this could be interpreted as sneaky, right? Well, according to 50 Cent, this doesn't mean that Jay-Z is completely innocent of the allegations against him, because he has allegedly done some really shady stuff that's about to be exposed, and that's the real reason that Beyonce might be divorcing him. It's maintained that Beyonce isn't as innocent as we thought she is, claiming that Jay-Z's public speech in support of Beyonce at this year's Grammys was a last-ditch effort for him to win her back and get her to drop the divorce.
You know, it's music and it's opinion-based, but, you know, some things, you know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work.
According to 50 Cent, the real reason for the divorce is that Beyonce is choosing to let Jay-Z take the fall, and she's trying to bounce before things get messy, even if it means throwing her longtime boo under the bus. Like the Bodyguard said, their marriage is for convenience, and right now, things aren't very convenient for Beyonce, allegedly. We all know the streets have been talking, and they've been leaving comments saying, she only leaving cause his closet is about to be cleaned out. She knows what's in the closet though. She may even have some items in there. Beyonce is complicit in this mess. She knows more than what she is telling. Personally, I am down with the whole mess. And one thing I love about 50 is he tells the truth when exposing someone. They never sue him. Think about it. Well, this situation is definitely a hot mess. And 50 Cent is being super bold by spilling this tea, because y'all know that Beyonce and Jay-Z do not like it when people speak on them. But let me know how y'all feel about this situation, and then check out this next video.